napkins.
E-A-T-L-E-S,
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Yo.
What's going on, you glorious bastards? And the city of Philly. Hear my raspiness. What is going on, guys? Drunk on Broad, back again. Drunk on the Birds. You know Don Juan. You know the killer, the slasher in the woods, Jason Voorhees. And myself, the trickiest of dicks, Rich. That is my nickname. My nickname is Tricky Dick, not after Richard Nixon. It was actually after a party trick, but that's a story for another day, folks. Anyway, the Birds are back, baby.
I did not expect to start off that way, but hey, listen.
It's a good start. You got to bring them in. You got to reel them in.
Listen, we got you got to get them in. Once you get them in, you got to get that hook, right?
Get the hook. Like, I want to know why it's called Tricky Dick. What was the party trick? And it's like, well, I can't tell you now. Can't tell you. Stay tuned to find out. Maybe that story pops up.
Listen, that's the catchphrase, right? You gotta
stick around. Yeah, fuck around. You're going to find out. Because that's what this is all about. It's about a good time. Jay, what's going on down there, buddy?
Oh, man, it's been a long week, but I'm excited, as you said, about football. You got fantasy football drafts going on all over the place. You got, obviously, Eagles open practice. And you got us. We get to get together and talk some shit. So, excited to be here. Looking forward to Joe hopping on shortly, too.
Most definitely. And listen, we have game content, put that in air quotes, to discuss. We got some they had their since the last time we met, they had their open practice. They're now they're getting ready to play Cleveland on Sunday. They're in Cleveland for the shared team practices. What are your initial thoughts on where they are as it sits right now?
I'm gonna. Sorry, my dogs were going nuts, so I had to hit the mute button. But no, I mean, I just read a report today, earlier before this, that Devonta Smith looks amazing. That he's been getting open on every route. You look at the sharpness of Jalen Hurts in on that first drive, and there was a lot of impressive things, especially the first throw on the run, where he had some zip. And I mean, I think it's all coming together. And like Jason said on the previous episode, this defense is not talked about enough. And my God, was that defense fantastic. And we could jump all over and talk about Cam Jurgens. Like, look how great of a game that he had. He looked like a pro. I mean, there's so many things that we can talk about with this defense and this offense that I'm not saying it's our year, but man, these young guys came to play.
It feels good. And truthfully, Rich, you could have swapped out the Jurgens jersey for the Kelsey jersey, and you would have not really known a difference, which is kind of scary in a great way, because you now know, right? They've slowly rebuilt that line, right? And now you're looking at Jurgens and Dickerson and Mailata as three guys that are going to be stalwarts on that line for the next 6, 7, 8 years.
And I thought Dickerson was good last year. Holy shit. Jurgens looks like a third-year guy. Like, he looks like a guy who's comfortable and knows this playbook. Like, it's absolutely crazy to see a rookie. Right. But now you know why Jason Kelsey said, this is the guy I want. I mean, you go with the all-pro, right? You go with the greatest center in Eagles history. You go with one of the best centers in the history of the game in Jason Kelsey. Like, he says, go get him, go get him. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I'm excited about this team, I mean, you just talked about it. It's the youth. This team is young. Like, when we won the Super Bowl in 2017, that team had some young players, but that team was mostly constructed with veteran players, whether it be free agents or guys they had brought in or guys that were already kind of past their prime. And obviously you had Carson Wentz, who had his best year, and of course Nick Foles, who played Superman in the playoffs. But this team, to me, is different because it's so young, but yet I feel we're ready to contend already. I'm not saying we're ready to win a Super Bowl, but the fact that we are so young and we can compete at that with all these young guys having a great deal of contribution to that team, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, listen, I know that I've been probably higher on Jalen Hurts than many people. But I'm also a realist, and I understand that Jalen Hurts is not probably ever going to be an elite quarterback. But I know enough about football to realize that you don't need necessarily an elite quarterback. You need people around a good quarterback. And that's what the Eagles have. I mean, bringing in A.J. Brown, to me, it just makes everybody better. A.J. Brown, he didn't have a catch. He didn't have a target. But look what he did for the other guys. Dallas Goedert was wide open on 3 of those plays, including the touchdown. Devonta Smith obviously didn't even play because he was hurt, but I saw Quez Watkins wide open a few times. Like, there was people open all over the field, and that's A.J. Brown. Like, so I'll say it again. That's what a wide receiver one is. It's not just what they put up stat-wise. It's what they do for the rest of the team around them. And we got a dog, man. We have a dog.
Truly.
Speaking of dogs, what's up, Joe?
What up,
What's
Joe?
up, dogs?
What up, Joe?
Sorry, but better late than never, right?
Hey,
That's what they say.
Joe, we were all late, so no sweat here.
Yeah.
Joe, your overall thoughts, just where they sit post first preseason game. What were you thinking coming out of that game with the Jets?
I mean, for the small sample size that we saw for the starting offense, and the limited snaps that Hurts took, it was, I mean, obviously it was a positive. I mean, he was perfect at passing. He looked like, he's always elusive. But the thing about it was a good sign for me was, he has a tendency to roll to his right, which, I mean, he's right-handed, but I think he's started to transition a little bit to rolling to his left as well. But that throw on the sideline to Watkins was a really good sign. There was definitely a lot of times last year where he would maybe come up short or miss him, running to the sideline. The throw to Goddard, they broke that play down and watched them break that play down. Just the fact of having, A.J. Brown on the field like you guys were talking about, all the attention goes to him immediately. So he runs that route. He takes 2 defenders, and it leaves Goddard, there single covered, and he couldn't get help. The help came too late with the second defender. So and he put the ball where he had to put the ball on that play for them to score those points. But also too, it's one game, it's one drive, so you can't get too high, you can't get too low. But obviously, it was a positive. If he had a terrible first series and looked like crap, he's getting sacked, or he's throwing the ball in the dirt, or he's antsy back there. It would have been more difficult. But it was positive. It was definitely a positive.
Listen,
And I also want to say,
Go ahead,
Don,
Rick.
real quick, thank you to all the idiots in the NFL front offices for spreading the injury rumors and letting us get Nakobe Dean in the third, because he was Pro Football's highest ranked linebacker in the preseason. First, I believe, or like 77 in coverage, and then like 85 in the rush. or stopping the run. So thank you for that, because that dude didn't look hurt, and that guy's doing exactly what he did at Georgia, was cleaning up everything Jordan Davis touches.
Right.
I love
and to talk about Jordan Davis, I mean, Jordan Davis, God, he just consumes people. And
Multiple.
you saw that one play, right, where he goes in the A gap, consumes the guard and the center. Nakobe Dean comes right off his hip, Rich, just like you're saying, just like they did at Georgia. And he blows up the tight end into the running back and inadvertently makes the tackle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to me, I'm looking like Jordan Davis is just like a mountain with legs. Like, he just is huge, but fast, athletic, smart. He's the guy that is going, like, they're going to put defenses on the field where it could be him, Fletcher Cox,
Fuck
Brandon
Kyle
Graham.
Hamilton.
Yep.
Fuck Kyle. I said fuck Kyle Hamilton. I was so mad.
Like,
I'm taking back my disgust for them not drafting him, and then I'm going back in time. We got Jordan Davis.
Rich, did you see the clips of him getting toasted in
I did.
by his own guys.
Stiff as a board, yeah. Stiff as a board.
And
He looks
I
terrible.
mean, not for nothing. Speaking of guys getting toasted at practice, just
Trayvon
have you
Diggs?
seen- Oh God, that's like the second team practice that where the Cowboys have had team. One was their own third string guy.
Yeah.
This one was with the shared practice with the Chargers. He just looks lost.
He's just standing there facing Keenan Allen, and the ball's
Legit.
thrown right by his head, and Keenan Allen goes and then taps him on the helmet. Like, Trayvon Diggs didn't even turn around. Like, what are you? This dude is such hot garbage. Hot garbage. Let's answer some questions. Let's answer some questions, Don. I think Mike's got a good one. Mike's got a good complaint.
Mike, truly,
That's insane.
the fact that
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, I know, like, they're looking at the fact that they only have one preseason game, but the fact that you're charging $50 to park a car for a game where no one's going to play,
Outrageous.
I mean, it really is. It really is
sad.
outrageous.
Come on, Jeff.
Jeff, you're a dick.
Come on, Jeff. You don't make enough money.
Right? And then Chip, right? The fact that Howie was able to get anything for J-Jaw, I mean, listen, you got Ugo Amadi, who is going to be at the very best going to be a special team safety. You know, he'll the fact that you got anything for a guy you were going to cut.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were going to cut him too, but apparently he's a decent special teams guy. So, I mean, anything to bolster one core, I'll take. So,
Who's our punt and kick returner? Right now.
I think it's going to be
This second.
Right now?
Yep.
Right now, it's got to be the kid from Utah.
Who?
Covey.
Britton
Covey?
Covey. So, Rich, if you remember watching the Rose Bowl,
Yes.
he's the guy who had the 100-yard punt return.
Oh, okay.
Super fast, speedy white guy. Reminds me.
Oh, wait, is that the skier?
Wes Welker.
No. So the skier was
Chad Hall.
not Jeff.
Jeremy Bloom.
Jeremy Bloom.
Jeremy Bloom. No, so this kid has, and I know Chip is saying Rager's there according to the depth chart. I honestly think that, to me, I'd be surprised if Rager is on the roster. I think they're trying to move him. I saw there were rumors with Denver, with Chicago, that they're trying to move him on. So
Chicago needs one because they just lost N'Keal Harry, who they just traded for.
Yeah.
And he's done. And then you have Darnell Mooney and no one else. Byron Pringle, I think, is hurt for them. Like, they just need a body to go out there and who can kind of catch. So, I mean, Jalen Rager could go there. But, I mean, he even looked decent in the preseason game. I mean, playing against the 2s and 3s. Zach Pascal made, I think, like 2 nice grabs. So I'm excited to see that.
I mean, those are guys like Zach Pascal is going to be your 4.
Yeah.
Or your 5. Like, and he is just going to come in and be a possession guy and be one of the old guys in the room, right? But you've got the two table setters that are now slotting everybody else, and you saw just on those first two drives the space that those two guys are going to create on the outside, and like you saw AJ Brown, even Jay, you mentioned, not even get a target in that game.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I would not be surprised if Dallas Goedert has a 1,000-yard season this year. I'm that high on Dallas Goedert taking a leap. He already had 800 last year, and the only thing that I think to this point that's kept Goddard from having huge numbers is his injury history.
Yeah.
But I definitely. What was this?
20.
Speaking of taking a leap, someone has $20K to put on the Eagles.
You have that kind of money, I guess it's a smart bet.
Yeah, I wish I had that. Just
J-Jaw did it. J-Jaw put it on.
Oh, J-Jaw.
Hey,
He
guys!
needs to get paid.
He took his umbrella with him when he got traded.
His mom totally.
He dropped that too.
Yeah, his mom packed it for him. So
Yeah.
Chip wrote, according to Jeff McClain, Rager had a good camp and was rewarded with the wide receiver 4 job. This is what I like to call trade fluff. And if I'm smart,
Wide receiver 4. There's no way he beats out Pascal.
no. And if I'm smart, I would, if I was Jeff McClain and the front office, I'd be like, he won the wide receiver 2 job. So this way you can get more for him.
He's better than Devonta Smith.
Yeah. Oh, he's better than Devonta. And everybody's like, oh my God, I got to trade for this guy. I mean, like, I look at something like this and it's trade fluff. Like, they're going to say the guy had a good camp, especially if you're trying to move.
Do they keep 5 receivers or do they keep 6 receivers?
They're going to keep 6 if they.
I think they're going to keep
Covey.
6.
6?
I would have to say they keep 6.
If Covey makes the team, I think 6.
If it's 6, then it's Covey and Rieger.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Who's higher up right now? Rieger's above Covey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covey, if there's anybody that's going to get cut, I think they would cut Covey just because he was undrafted. And Rieger was a first round pick. Oh, we got to give him another year, and he's having such a good camp.
I honestly think that he's a guy that if they try to stash him on the practice squad, someone's going to pick him up.
If Jalen Rager had been a 3rd or 4th round pick, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's part of the problem. The problem is that we drafted him in the 1st round before Justin Jefferson, before T. Higgins, before Brandon Ayuk. We could go down the line of all the wide receivers that were drafted that year after Rager. If Rager had been a 3rd or 4th round pick, we wouldn't be expecting as much, and he would be given more time to develop. The fact of the matter remains is that he was drafted in the 1st round, and that's why there's that expectation that's tied with it.
It's not his fault.
Per se, somewhat it is his fault.
Draft position wise, it's not his fault.
It's not. It's certainly not his fault.
Where he should be talent wise when the Eagles were the ones that kind of made a mistake and drafted him so high. I also look at that with Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett is a serviceable defensive end, but the fact was he was drafted with the 14th pick in the
He broke Reggie White's sack record in the SEC. He should have been drafted that high. It's just the fact that he's not panning out. Like Jalen Rager compared to Derek Barnett, I can't see the similarities. And I'm not arguing at you, Jay.
I know what you're saying.
It's like one of those things. Like Barnett should have been good. You broke Reggie White. You played against.
Yeah, I think.
What the fuck happened? Like that's what I'm looking at Derek Barnett. Like you played against pro linemen in the league right now at Alabama, at LSU. Like, why aren't you good now? Are you just a fucking moron? Like, is that what it is? Like, you have to study a playbook and you don't understand your assignments and you just love doing extracurricular after the shit?
They banked on him being a stud because he had one elite move.
Yeah.
And once they figured that out, when he got to the pros, it was You know,
Jay, hit me with the line. Hit me with my line, Jay. Hit me with my line. What did you say in the chat today? What did I tell you yesterday?
Hold on.
Survive.
Or survive and adapt.
Survive and adapt.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Barnett should be doing. You have all the skills in the world. You literally broke one of the greatest defensive linemen ever to play the game's college record. And you came into the NFL and you sucked. Jalen Reagor, we seen it from him at TCU. The drops, the inconsistency. Fuck that I had a true freshman quarterback. I had a 9% catchable ball rate. Like, it doesn't matter, dude. But here's the fact. He's fast. He was sold up. The Eagles bid on it. We all knew he was a late second, early third guy. The Eagles drafted him. You thrust him into this role as being accountable as a first-round wide receiver when everyone knows he's not. So the expectations are too high for him. Should he still live up to it? Of course he should. But I don't blame the guy for where he's drafted. Derek Barnett, I do blame you from when you were drafted because you have all the talent in the world. You're just a fucking knucklehead.
Right. Very different. Yeah,
Survive and
absolutely.
adapt.
So we'll get to Adam's question. Right. The health can Sanders stay healthy all season?
probably not.
No, just because it's the position. It's running back. He's going.
And he's already banged up.
He's going to get banged up.
He's already banged up, and we haven't even gotten to game one yet. So,
right.
I'm all in on the Kareem Hunt trade game.
Yay!
What does it take? I've heard
A fifth rounder.
fifth
rounder.
I mean, the guy when he's called upon can start. He's had starter stats. He's got size. He can get short yards. He's hard to tackle. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he's going to be a cheaper option than Miles.
It's mind-boggling to me the amount of Eagles fans that I hear that are against the trade. I hear so many people saying, "Why would we want Kareem Hunt? He's a white beater or whatever." Or,
he's not a white beater. He barely kicked a woman on an elevator floor.
He can play ball. He stays on the field.
But what I'm saying is I hear so many people against it, and there's a lot of people that were against, going after Jacobs. To me, why would you not want to improve at running back? You could say all you want that, we had the top running game in the league last year. Yes, we did.
Because of the line.
Miles Sanders is on his last year of his deal. Like
he's
not the answer.
And he's not going to get paid.
He's going to want big money.
He's not going to get it.
He's not going to get it.
Right, but he's going to want it, and we're not going to give it to him.
No, he's going to walk.
Yeah.
Go, Jay.
I'm all over it.
I'm all in on. I'm with you guys. I've been saying Hunt all year, but I get trashed for saying it.
Would Dillard be a trade piece that you guys would be willing to part with to get him?
Yeah.
Straight up, just Dillard for Hunt.
Dillard
you know why? Andre Dillard is soft.
Oh yeah, well,
soft.
He's another pass.
He can't handle it. He can't handle being an NFL player.
And he's another guy who's had every opportunity to be incorporated into this lineup. And just
I would trade Dillard straight up, and if they said no, I would say Dillard and a 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a late round pick, sure, see it bye.
I mean, I think
Dillard's not going to play. Dillard, the only way Dillard plays is if Mulata goes out. And he can't physically go out and play. That's the only way.
I have to disagree with you guys a little bit on this one, only because I look at offensive line as being the number one important position on this team, and there's a reason why we're so good. Yes, we have a lot of depth, but every single year we see countless injuries on the offensive line. So to me, I think it's a position that you can never have enough guys. Yes, I think Dillard is expendable, but I actually happen to think Dillard got better last year from what I saw as far as the eye test when he did play. And I think Dillard provides you that stability in case you do have an injury. I don't think I would move Dillard. If it came down to it and that was the only way you could get Hunt, yeah, then I'd probably do it. But I think I would try to explore another option before I would go the Dillard route. little bit higher pick, or
Who do we trust? Who would we trust to play left tackle if we did trade Dillard and Malata missed a game or went out for a few series or got an injury? Who right now would be the guy to slide into that spot?
I guess that's my concern. I mean, I don't know.
Dickerson?
Do you have any?
I would say Dickerson. He's smaller, but
He's smaller, and
Well,
I
he's
always
interchangeable. Yeah.
yeah.
Part of me always tries. I always hesitate when like you're now shuffling multiple positions, right? Like if you can keep the 4 other positions status quo, rather than moving him to a new spot and then moving another guy in. I don't know. That always just makes me hesitate just a little bit. But
I mean, like I said, I see. I think your process is right. I, in my opinion, I wouldn't do it just because of the injury history that we have, and we see every year an offensive lineman go down. I mean, even Lane Johnson. Like, we love Lane Johnson, but the last few years he's been injured, and I just don't want to lose a guy that, to me, I still think has not probably hit his ceiling. I think Andre Dillard, like, you're right. I think that was his weakness, is the fact that he's soft. But he has a lot of tools. Like, he has a lot of talent. He's just never really put it together. And then, obviously, I don't think any of us thought Mailata was going to become what he is. I mean, Mailata is probably one of the best offensive tackles in the league right now. And he was, what, a 7th-round pick?
Yeah.
And he never played football.
Crap, dude. Like, I mean, that to me,
Allen, baby.
that's just
Allen.
that's just talent, right? Right, which makes the value of that Cam Jurgens pick even higher.
Yep.
Because you now have him learning from probably the best offensive line coach in the NFL and what will go down as your best all-time center in franchise history. And they're getting the tutelage. He's getting the tutelage of both of those guys.
Yeah. So Adam asks, what role do you think Gainwell will have in the offense this year? Anybody
I
wants?
am very, very high on Kenny Gainwell. I love him out of Memphis. I think he's actually, to me, Kenny Gainwell is a guy that I think eventually could be your every down back. He's got the talent to do it. He's a little bit undersized, but in today's NFL, I don't see really any teams besides like less than 5 that have like that bell cow that just plays every single down. Like, so to me, Kenny G, he can run the ball, but I think you're going to see Kenny G make most of his money out of the catching passes out of the backfield. And I think he will be a huge asset if Jalen Hurts can improve in that check down position where he goes through more than one read and he finds that open guy. Kenny G is going to be dangerous. I'm telling you, I feel it.
You're probably going to get him in space.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and between Miles Sanders not being as reliable as we want him to be, you're going to see Gainwell and Boston Scott, and you're going to see those guys that are normally, second, third down, maybe change of pace backs. They might get more run in this offense, and with the amount of space that guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Scott, that space is going to create space in the flat where you can get those guys on a wheel route, or you can get them in space where you can get them the ball and they can make plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think having a guy like Gainwell makes Miles Sanders that much more expendable if you're talking about making a move for a guy like Kareem Hunt, who, he might not be as explosive or have that, that one cut or that the juke moves that Sanders does, but he stays on the field. He can get you, the tough yards, and nobody wants to tackle him. He's a big, he's that big back that we missed since Ajayi and Blunt. And like I said, I mean, he's a couple years older than Miles, but he's also not going to be too expensive. I just think I just think I can't see them throwing money at Miles. I mean,
No.
you don't need a star stud back to win in the NFL.
The days of paying the running back died when Zeke is making $30 million this year, and it's the worst contract in football. That's
Here's
when
a
they
bold
realized
take,
paying
guys.
running backs does not benefit your team.
I have a bold take for you guys.
Go ahead.
Kareem Hunt is better than Nick Chubb. I actually believe that.
I kind of agree too. Versatility,
Kareem
skill
Hunt-
set.
Absolutely possible. I mean,
I think Kareem Hunt as an overall running back. I'm talking everything that can do, catch the ball and obviously run.
right.
I think Nick Chubb's probably the better pure runner, but as a overall running back, I think Kareem Hunt, to me, for the amount of money that he's getting paid, I think Kareem Hunt, like Kansas City, probably never would have got rid of him.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, obviously he got in trouble and, for whatever reason, he ended up in Cleveland. But I think Kansas City to this day is probably kicking themselves because there's no way that you could tell me that Clyde's Edwards-Helaire is anywhere near what Kareem Hunt is.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is only 5'7".
Yeah, and I heard some people talking about one of the kids that they drafted late in this year's draft having a really good camp.
Pacquiao.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacquiao, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Really?
Pacquiao.
I don't. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Pacquiao. Yes. It's
No,
Manny
so I mean-
Pacquiao's kid.
There you go.
Real good. Drafted straight from the Philippines.
Gentlemen, anything else you want to chat about with the Eagles? Anything you're looking forward to in these last two preseason games?
Just see who's going to make it. The guys that are on the bubble, hoping that they can show out enough to make this squad. I'm particularly looking at Covey, however you say it. It's going to be a breath of fresh air to have somebody who can, if he shows it over the next couple of weeks, to have somebody who can return punts and return kicks, because that's been lacking on this team for years. It's just been an aspect of our game that's really come up short for a while now, and I'm hoping that we can turn a corner and move on with somebody like him. Let's see what he can do the next couple games.
Anybody's bubble getting bursted? Anybody's surprise going to be surprise cut?
I don't think so, but Barnett would be one of the guys that I would like to see cut. Because he is just going to cost you so much in penalty yards.
Yep.
And you just know it's going to happen. Like, I think that's the most frustrating thing about when you see a guy with so much talent, that it's wasted on just watching stupidity unfold in front of your face. Like, it's just hard. It's just hard to watch a guy who could be that good and that dominant in college, even if it was off of one move, take that many steps backward, or blame it on the injuries, and then we still sign him, and it's just it's rinse, repeat, recycle, the definition of insanity. Like, get some young guys, give me some young, thirsty D linemen, some edge guys who want to make a name for themselves, want to make an impact for this team, but also aren't going to be drive extenders, who aren't going to kill the momentum of, all right, you just got a 3 and out, but you got this jerk off for a hold or a late hit or an unnecessary roughness. Like, it's just, you see the mentality of what he has, and I think it's just that I don't care anymore because I'm not living up to it, and it's just kind of just crushes me.
He's
Also,
a liability.
Anytime, bro. Anytime answering your questions. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. Adam, we appreciate you anytime you're tuning in, and the questions are always good, space movers to help the show. So we really appreciate anybody that's chiming in. Anything before final thoughts, fellas?
Nah, man, go Birds.
I got a final thoughts question for you.
Okay.
So we're in the process of renovating our den. We got the 2 TV setup going up on the wall. The surround sound system is going in.
Oh,
So
right.
the conversation at home has been, what's the one thing that you want to watch? Surround sound, volume up. If you had to pick a movie,
I
to
got
watch.
one for you.
Go ahead.
It'll be out soon. Top Gun, the new one.
The new Top Gun.
Saw it at the
good one.
movies. I love
Yeah.
Top Gun, the original, on full blast surround sound. You hear those planes coming in.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Jay. I'm not even mad. I heard great things about the new one. That's a good call.
You're gonna love it too, Don. If you didn't see it, I saw it twice already.
That was on the list. That was one of the things we came up with. Rich, what are you watching? Surround sound, full blast.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Ah, man, you know I gotta watch some Jurassic Park, dude.
My
It's gotta
guy,
be great. Any one of
my
them.
guy
Dude.
over here.
There he is, Dino Dude.
There he is.
There he is, the
What
Dino
are we
Dude.
What are we watching? Surround sound. There it is.
Jurassic Park, man. Just when the dinosaurs roar, like that would just be dope just to hear it. That'd be great.
Joe, what are you watching?
Oh man, there's a lot of options, but I'd probably have to go with something that my son would probably pick. Halloween.
Oh, okay.
We're like real big into the horror and the old school scary flick. So that up high with the Halloween music playing will get your blood flowing a little bit.
I thought about the couple that I thought Back to the Future would be a cool one.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
And then Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Anything with a lot of that action where
Saving Private Ryan would be fucking crazy.
Ooh.
The Avengers.
Especially the fucking opening. That would be nice.
Transformers.
Nah, I hated the Transformers movies, dude.
No,
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Jaws,
The cartoon.
Godzilla. Ooh.
Oh, the cartoon, yes.
The
cartoon.
original.
Jaws.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my only. I'm with you, Rich. I didn't like the
Movies were terrible.
Well, there's a new one coming out. Hopefully, the new producer will be better.
Halloween Ends.
23.
Is that? Oh, that's the. No, I thought that already came out. What was the? I just watched
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. That was
There's
so
another
fucking
Halloween
good.
coming out.
There's another one coming in October.
Are you serious? No.
Yep.
Days of Thunder,
Days of Thunder, Talladega Nights. Oh, that'd be
Star
great.
Wars.
Any Star Wars.
Yeah.
Any Star Wars.
How about some Jason Voorhees, baby?
Nah.
Friday the
Listen.
13th. Not a big fan.
You know they said there's probably another installment coming out. They're fighting over the legal issues of it. So they're trying to do Jason Voorhees again. So there you go, Jay. You're gonna
Nice.
star.
Right up my alley.
There we go. Anybody got anything else they want to roll off? Final thoughts? We're about ready to embark on the fantasy draft process for the
Juices are
Golden Mike
flowing.
League in about
Yeah. Don't end the stream. Like end the stream after the show, but we need to stay on and draft together.
Sounds good.
Final thoughts. If your kids are old enough, anybody out there, have them watch the stuff from your childhood. Whether it be like the goofiest shit, like my son, we've already watched Monster Squad. Like, just a great movie. If you haven't watched it, 1989 classic. Came out right after The Goonies did. We watched The Goonies, we watched Monster Squad. Now we are going through the entire anthology of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it's just bringing back memories of like when I was a kid and I was terrified. But watching it as an adult, it's absolutely hilarious because you see like some of the people in the background like pushing like the props, like making them come towards you. And it's just goofy. But it's also fun to like, you know, Ollie goes, you used to watch this when you were a kid, Dad? I'm like, terrified me on Friday nights. I'm like, absolutely loved it. So it's like that nostalgia aspect, but it also gets the kids to kind of understand like most of your stuff, the where it came and like the graphics and the animations and the effects. Look at what we used to sit through. And now look what you have. Like, it's just pretty dope to see like where it
Definitely.
came from. That's all I got.
There we go. Jay, Joe, anything?
I love it. My final thoughts: just do something nice for somebody. Like whether it when you go to Wawa, buy a coffee for the person behind you. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big. Just always be looking out for other people. It goes a long way, and also keep an open ear and an open mind when you see somebody at your job, at the workplace that might seem to be a little bit out of sorts or looks down. Just always like have an open ear.
Yeah.
It really does go a long way, and you're going to surprise yourself if you just kind of go out of your comfort zone and try to look out for somebody else.
Amen, Jay.
My final thoughts.
I like it.
Joe, we got anything good?
I'm gonna try. I mean, we'll see what happens. But no, I mean, for me, doing podcasting and meeting you guys and being a part of this, shout out to I gotta have to throw it out there, Corner Pub Sports and DSM as well, but because I kind of got hooked in with them a little bit first, but I feel like I'm a part of something now because we get to do this, once a week or whenever we feel like it. For me, it's an escape from, the everyday, the grind of work and home and all that. Like I could do this stuff. I could talk on a podcast literally all day and I would still have stuff to talk about. So it's nice to be able to release my useless knowledge, as my wife says, my walking encyclopedia of useless knowledge. She's like, can you just talk to somebody else about that? Because I don't really do it. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate, being a part of this because I think it's just great. It's a lot of fun. And this format is it's fantastic. And I thank all of you, and I thank everyone that's let me be a part of their stuff and everything. So thank you all. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Jay.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm like super proud. Like for me, like you being my best friend and like seeing you be able to do this and like
what about Aaron?
Like, dude, you shine. Like it's amazing. I like the first time that you did a podcast. It was like, I thought, man, this guy's been doing this for like 20 years. Like, you were better your first show than I was on my 50th. So shout out to you. And like I said, I'm very proud of you. And we're all blessed. Everybody that knows you knows that you're a good guy. And like I said, thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, on that note,
you stuck around.
We're ready to draft.
It's draft time. You stuck around. You fucked around. You found out. Philly, we love you. Boys, you're all going down in this draft that's happening. So
there we go.
Peace.
Hey,
wait.
Rich, Davion Taylor says hi.
You forgot your fuck Deshaun Watson.
Oh, fuck Deshaun Watson and fuck
Deshaun Watson.
What about Davion Taylor?